Do you have PCOS and you're wondering what the next steps are? Do you wonder what are the most common treatments and what the doctor might prescribe you soon? Stay tuned because I'm going to be going through the most common PCOS therapies. So I'm going to be going through those therapies in an order that I don't necessarily agree with, and I'm going to leave the best for the last. But we're going to start with something that is of course prescribed to most women with PCOS, which is birth control pill. Now I'm going to link here the video about birth control pill for PCOS so you can make an informed decision if it's something for you or not. And birth control pill is set to regulate or balance your hormones. What it does actually, it decreases the androgen production and it balances out the estrogen production while you are on the pill. So it is actually a little artificial boost to help your body balance everything out. However, this is not the balancing act that is gonna last forever. So you have to understand that if you're going on birth control pill, it is gonna work as long as you are on it. Because when we hear balance, we very often think that this is something that is gonna last forever. But it's not. So while you're on the pill, the symptoms like your acne, for example, might go down. You might have a decrease in other problems. I don't know, some people see improvement in their mental health or decrease in their mental health sometimes as well. So you might see improvement in some symptoms, but this is gonna disappear as soon as you go off the pill. Another option for people that not necessarily feel good, for example, on combined birth control pill is a progestin therapy, and this is just something called mini pill usually, that is used to help induce, let's say, your period. So most often this is how it's used, that after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe less than days of your cycle, you're going to be taking this pill, and then after that you're going to get a bleeding. And this is not a proper bleeding, this is not a proper after ovulation normal cycle. This is a bleeding that actually comes after quitting the pill. So after you've been taking progesterone and you stop it, then you're going to get the bleeding. It is useful because it can help alleviate some of the symptoms, and it also ensures the regular bleeding. That is very important because the buildup of endometrial tissue can cause endometrial cancer in the future. So this is helpful, but then again, this is a not long-term solution. Now there are a few therapies as well that might help you ovulate. One of the most common therapies is going to be metformin, which is addressing the insulin-resistant problem. If you haven't seen my insulin resistance playlist, please make sure you do so, because I explain a lot about insulin resistance and how it works and how you can reverse it naturally as well. But metformin is actually helping regulate your blood sugars, which in turn can help you ovulate because your cells in your ovaries are also influenced by insulin resistance. So if you lower your insulin resistance levels, you might ovulate as well. However, there is many side effects to metformin, and I made a video also about 5 natural metformin alternatives, so make sure you look at it as well. And if you want me to get into some of those therapies, please make sure that you leave me a comment down below. Another 2 therapies that you probably have heard about before, and I'm just going to mention them briefly because, you know, they're a little bit more complicated, is Clomid and it's letrozole. There might be different names for particular, brand names and so on and so forth. However, they're set to help you ovulate, and very often for the couples that try to conceive, they are the medication that are coming in first. Clomid or letrozole, depending on a case. Now for symptoms like excessive androgen levels, hyperandrogenism like acne, hair growth, hair loss, we have different set of medication. So first and most common one is going to be birth control pill, so that already might help or might not. Second of all is going to be spironolactone, and this is usually prescribed together with birth control because if you use spironolactone without birth control and you actually get pregnant at that time, it can influence the hormonal levels in the fetus as well. So it's very important not to get pregnant when you're on spironolactone. So if birth control is not enough, it might be something that you're going to get on top of that. And spironolactone is a testosterone blocker, so it will lower your androgens as well. Spironolactone was actually made for something else. However, it does work for lowering testosterone levels, but same as with metformin, it comes with an array of side effects, so this is something to consider. Now, another therapies are found to be, for example, a specific cream, and I found the name, let me read it for you, L-Fortin, which is written Vanica, which is supposed to actually slow the hair growth in women. I didn't research too much about it, but I think it's very interesting. And another thing is electrolysis, which is actually not a therapy as such. It is something that you can actually do if you already have a hair growth and you don't want the hair to grow back. And I know that a lot of people actually have success with electrolysis. However, it's very expensive and very painful as well. So of course it will be easier to address the root cause. So now, the last but not least is lifestyle changes, and if you haven't seen my playlist about insulin resistance, please make sure you do so, because I'm talking about the best exercise and the best diet for insulin resistance. And the good thing about lifestyle changes is when you adapt them, you will be able to use them your whole life, and it's not like you're going to end up taking a pill and it's going to destroy your hormones again and you're going to have to rebalance them and so on and so forth. Because what very often happens is when we are on birth control pill or spironolactone, maybe on metformin and so on and so forth, when we are trying to, for example, conceive, when you decide that you want to have a child, you unfortunately have your hormones still imbalanced. So you might need those boosters like Clomid or Letrozole. But if you would have tried and balanced your hormones naturally, you wouldn't have to do that, because your ovulation might come back naturally, like it did in my case. And you might actually, heal your hyperandrogenism as well, as I did as well. So make sure you check my other videos, and make sure you check my Instagram, because I bring a lot of value there in a lot of graphical posts as well. And make sure you like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified about my future videos. And I will see you very soon. Bye.